What is up, hooligans, and happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. And I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Gonna read through the chat really quick. Then of course we're gonna read through the schedule really quick, and then we'll check on all the chats. So let me know how you guys are doing. First, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley, and you can hang out with all the hooligans in the group chats. Plus, you'll be able to join us Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, for our voice chat, where we have way too many laughs. So definitely go get you a membership for jeffmaclive.com. We have a plethora of videos today, and I just remembered that KJP was supposed to go live, and I totally spaced it because I haven't slept enough, and I have no short-term memory anymore. But that's okay. We'll be starting out with a video titled Harris is Too Woke. Then we have a video titled Nearly 100 Border Crossers on the Terror Watch List are now inside the U.S., which is really nice. Then we have a video titled Chicago Officials at Odds with the DNC Protesters, which is really interesting because you got protesters at a Democratic event, which is pretty fucking weird. It's like you got blue team voters that are eating each other on large scale, like a mass level. It's nice. It's real nice. Then we got a video titled Hyena Harris chooses Tim Walz, or however you say his gay name, as running mate, and these two are just two pieces of shit in a pod. Then we got a video titled JD Vance responds to Tim Walz's pick. And then we have a video with the title of Google has an illegal monopoly on search. U.S. judge finds. I've been saying this for fucking ever. And apparently I'm not the only one that thinks so, because a judge just ruled on it. And Google does have a monopoly. So hopefully we can watch Google go down, because fuck those people. Then we have a video titled Virginia man charged with threatening the vice president. Posted on social media. Fucking social media. Get you in trouble. Then we got a video title, We Want to Take Care of Our Veterans, Representative Korea or somebody, on psychedelics for PTSD. They're talking about giving veterans, combat veterans, MDMA to try and treat their PTSD, which is pretty interesting. That's why there's a lot of private companies testing psilocybin for the same kind of stuff. But either way, they're not talking about psilocybin in that one. Then we have a video titled, I don't know what this is, Nassau, some county in New York just passed a law banning the use of face masks in public because criminals are fucking covering their faces and people can't figure out who they are. So we're going back to the good old days of wearing a face mask is now fucking illegal. And the lefties are really pissed about it, of course. And then we have our feel-good video of the day that's titled Went to a Wedding and a Trump Rally Broke Out. And then we have our funny video of the day. It's titled Trump Dog. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Sam? What's up, Breeze by You? What's up, Mandela? What's up, Russell? What is up, Russell? What's up, Mr. Beansy Beans? What's up, Damsel? What's up, Annette? What's up, Matt? What's up, Snooks? Happy freedom, you hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being here. And in the voice chat, everyone has a pretty mouth. You're right, Annette. Oh, 10-man shows up. I love that. He's always cracking me up with that. Let me see here. What is up, everyone over on Rumble? Breeze by You. You were first today. Appreciate you racing to the chat, Breeze by You. My goodness, I'm so tired. I am just all over the place. What's up, Astro Hammer? Happy freedom. What's up, Mad Marv? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Sawdog? Russell, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. Snooks, you were omnipresent. Appreciate everything you do, Snooks. What's up, Jeffro? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Mr. B New? Let me see. Scrolling through. What's up, Gron? Happy freedom. Doo-doo-doo. What's up, Freethinker Texan? What's up, Courtly? What's up, Ghostly? Happy freedom, you hooligans. What's up, Screaming Eagle? Thank you so much, Jeffro, for the $5 donation on Rumble. You're a badass. Thank you. It says, just figured I'd start you off with a few doll hairs. Happy freedom, Hooligan Pack. You're awesome, Jeffro. Thank you so much. What's up, MU? What's up, Matthew? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. What's up, Pumpkin? Your hair looks nice. Oh, yes. I'm aerodynamic. I'm no longer homeless looking, at least from the ears up. Yes. Thank you. What's up, Lori? Happy freedom. What's up, Tony Rez? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. What's up, Silver Wolf? Happy freedom. I love magical mushrooms. Give me magical shoes. Me too, Silver Wolf. I need a vacation. I can't find the goods around here. Anyways, what's up, Black White Bull? What's up, Free Mind Art? Happy Freedom. Thank you so much, Jump Offer, for the $10 donation on Rumble. You're awesome. Thank you so much for the support. It says Happy Freedom, Hooligans. You guys are the best. I swear. What's up, Zupia? Happy Freedom. I think I got everyone. I think I did. Make sure you hit that like button over on Rumble. See if you can get us on the front page. Did you guys see that Rumble's joining up with the X lawsuit? They're all suing Google and suing YouTube and shit for, I don't know, privacy infringements or something like that. I wish I had the money to join. I got so many emails from YouTube mistreating me. I would love to join on that lawsuit. I just can't afford it. Anyways, what's up everyone over on Kick? What's up, Zeus Boot? Happy Freedom to you. And what's up everyone over on Twitch? Tony Rich, you're omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Matt? Happy Freedom to you. Oh yes, I forgot about the communism platform. Did I set this shit up? Set it up for failure. Here we go. The communism platform. There I be. Oh, I sound good. I sound good. We're gonna get the new microphone hooked up in a couple days, as soon as I can get enough sleep to do things. I'm really excited about it. What is up everyone over on CommieTube? What's up, Courtly? What's up, Sawdog? You guys are all omnipresent. You guys are the best. What's up, Tim? What's up, AJ? What's up, Crystal? What's up, MD Cyrun? Happy Freedom. What's up, Cheeky Chops? Cheeky Chops, you gotta make a Rumble account, man. Gotta get a Rumble account. YouTube is the way of the Fruit Loops. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this first video. It's titled Harris is Too Woke. As woke as can be. I know the first thing you wanted to hear today was Hannah Harris's voice. I knew it. That's why I put it at the top of the schedule. I was like, these hooligans, they want that face. Now, before we get into this dumpster fire, I want to remind you guys, we have these brand new Trump Fight t-shirts. Comes in shirts for men, shirts for women, tank tops for men, tank tops for women, coffee mug stickers, and dog tags. Like I said, send me an email or something if you would like other items. We could stick this image on backpacks and socks and posters and towels and shower curtains and puzzles and fucking everything. So just let me know what you want. We don't have any butt plugs or anything like that. You'll have to wait on that stuff. I know. I just let everyone down. But that's okay. We got lots of items and lots of designs over on the merch store. I will drop the link in the chat while we're watching this first video.
Like, everybody needs to be woke. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. And you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke. Yeah. Like, everybody.
Yes. Gotta cleanse the palate right off the rip. Right off the rip. Stankin' ass Hannah Harris saying her policies. These are the promises. You can have an abortion and you can stay extra woke. Welcome to the Democratic Party. So next up, we got nearly 100 border crossers on the terror watch list have been released into the U.S. As I say all the time, China on your phone is bad, but China in your backyard, well, that's fucking A-OK. On top of that, they're going to mention that President Trump, when he is back in the White House, he plans on doing away with the CBP One app. The CBP One app is the app that border crossers use to schedule appointments to enter the country illegally. Border crossers like, hey, Jose, he's like, here. He's like, all right, get your ass in the country illegally. And that's how it works, I guess. So President Trump's going to do away with that. They're not going to speak a whole lot on that. It's just kind of like a highlight of what's to come. So we're going to hop right into this video. I know normally we run through the chat, but that video was just for fun. That video was just for shits and giggles. So we're going to get into this next video, and after this, we will read through the chat. All right. So once again, this is titled, Nearly 100 Border Crossers on the Terror Watch List have been released into the U.S.
Hi, everyone. Well, the House Judiciary Committee is releasing a scathing new report. What's it revealing? Well, that nearly 100 illegal immigrants on the terror watch list have been released into U.S. communities. Well, News Nation's Jorge Ventura is here with more on these alarming findings. So, Jorge, what are the key concerns outlined in this report?
So, Anna, this new report is highlighting a major national security concern right here on the southern border. We are learning that under the Biden and Harris administration, that Border Patrol agents encountered at least 375 illegal migrants on the terror watch list right on the southern border. But what's more shocking is at least 99 of these individuals were actually released into American communities given future court dates. Additionally, 34 of those individuals are in DHS custody but haven't been removed from the U.S. yet. These individuals come from at least 36 countries, including Afghanistan, Iraq, and Syria, places with active terrorist activities. A major concern for federal officials is the CBP One app, which does allow these individuals to scale asylum interviews on the southern border and are allowed through legal ports of entry. At least 3 Tajik nationals with potential ISIS ties use this app to schedule appointments and were released inside the United States. We are learning that so far this fiscal year alone, Border Patrol agents have encountered at least tens of thousands of illegal migrants from countries posing national security risks. This includes at least 2,000 Afghan nationals, 33,000 Chinese nationals, 551 Iranian nationals, 520 Syrian nationals, and 3,000 Uzbek nationals. When it comes to that CBP One app, we are hearing that the Trump administration, if elected in November, wants to put an end to the application as of right now, and that CBP One app is processing around 1,500 migrants per day through legal ports of entry and are given future court dates. But this, according to this report, we are now highlighting that individuals with terrorist ties are now being released into U.S. communities, Anna.
Not what people want to hear on a Tuesday morning. Jorge, thank you so much for that.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Well, that's nice. I'm glad they got a nice little app so they can come into the country illegally. It's good stuff. Well, let me see who said it. I seen someone say in the chat, if they're saying it's only 100, it's probably more than that. Let me see. Give credit where credit is due. Silver Wolf, you think it's only 100? All they are saying, they are lying. Yeah, Silver Wolf, that's what I think too. It's got to be more than 100 if they're saying it's 100, and that's pretty bad. If the mainstream news is out here like, yeah, we got 100 terrorists in the country. You know, those people that we fight against so we can be free, we let 100 of them into the country. Oh, really? Just 100 of them? Well, that's not bad. You let 22 million illegals in, and only 100 of them were on the terror watch list. Well, that's not that bad, right? Well, we'll see. And this shit looks like England around here. Well, you know, people will be mad, but they signed up for it. They signed up for it. So whatever is going to happen is going to happen. They're the ones walking us into this bullshit. And we're just here to endure it. Lucky us. Next up, we got Chicago officials at odds with the DNC protesters because the DNC is coming up, which is the gay version of RNC. And it smells like a dumpster fire. But the dirty, dusty-ass protesters are going to be outside screaming and crying at Democrats. So we got Democrats eating Democrats, which is always a good time. So I assume once this bullshit starts, we will have a lot of highlights. So with this video, they have provided a designated area for the protesters outside of the DNC. And as protesters do, they're pissed about it. They don't think it's good enough. They need more. They need more places to bitch and cry and shit on the sidewalk. So that's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Harris being too woke, as well as the border crossers coming here and 100 of them being from the terror watch list. Russell pole dancing. Yeah, they're trying to get Hyanna Harris's polls up, but it ain't working. It ain't working. Mr. Beans, I just read a poll on YouTube, and they say that Trump is up 10 points since the VP pick for Hyanna Harris. Hope that's true. Yeah, Mr. Beans, I don't know. I don't know what to think about those polls. I think they're fake. It doesn't make sense that, like, on Monday, Harris is leading in 5 polls, but then on Tuesday, she's not leading in any. And on Wednesday, she's on 3 of them, she's leading. And it's like, are you guys taking the polls every day? Because if that's the case, they're not worth a whole lot. Because everybody's mind changes every day. So, I don't know. And again, where do these polls take place? No one's ever asked me my opinion about what the fuck I think about any of these people. So, I don't know. I don't believe the polls. Mandela, you are so funny because I was totally planning on reading that out loud until there was the asterisk, Jeff, don't read this out loud. You guys would be surprised how many of that pops up in the chat on the website. Like, don't read this one out loud. This one's private. Breeze by you, so much treason going on. You're not wrong. I wish somebody would do something about it. Russell, do you have any Trump fight butt plugs? He's got the fist up and stuff. That's gonna fit funny. We need to come out with like hooligan lube or something. We got to start easy. You can't just start at the butt plug. I mean, goodness. Sam, when the POTUS candidate begins sentences with the word like, we're fucked. Yeah. Oh, Hyena Harris. I was actually talking to Klaus Daniels like Hyena Harris. I was like, that booty is nice. And the nice is booty. And he's just looking at me like, don't start this shit. Don't do this shit. It's too early in the day. I don't need that. I felt filthy too after talking to him like Hyena Harris. I had to go take a shower, cut my hair off, almost cut my eyebrows off. Just felt filthy in the biblical sense. Hair Juicer, just got my first political survey last week. Lots of leading questions and personal questions. Interesting, Hair Juicer. Did you fill it out? Like, did you turn it back in? If you didn't fill it out, will you take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see what that looks like? Because I've never seen anything like that. Snooks, you look dang fine today. Well, thank you, Snooks. I appreciate the compliment. Reading through. Melissa, Kabbalah, looks like Barack in drag. Someone said something about something I had said earlier, and I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, Jorge. Jorge would be Hyena Harris's name if she transitioned. She'd be Jorge, and then she would just show up. It'd be like the like a good neighbor, like Allstate. You know, you just say Jorge, and she just appears right there with the knee pads and everything ready to go. Thank you so much, Jeff Rowe, for the $1 donation. I appreciate you, Jeff Rowe. Thank you. Says Jeff Mack, look up a new clip of Ratskin talking about the plans to block the White House votes to certify Trump victory if he wins. I've seen it, Jeff Rowe. Alex Jones has been posting it on Twitter like every day for a week now. I was going to put it on the schedule, but it's like 9 minutes long. I'll see if I can find a short clip of it, and we'll add it to tomorrow's schedule, Jeff Rowe. Because, yeah, I think it's worth watching, but I might have to edit the video myself because I don't like to put 10-minute videos on the schedule. It takes up too much time, but I'll figure something out because I think it is worth looking at. Astral Hammer, ho hey, yeah, that's her. That's her manly name for Tuesdays and Thursdays where she's wearing blue jeans instead of a dress. She goes by Jorge. Break a leg. Hey, my name is George. Could you imagine Hyena Harris showing up like, hi, I'm George? No, that ain't gonna work. What's up, Alistair? Happy freedom to you. Ghostly, if terrorism doesn't work, then explain that to the UK. Yeah, the UK is on fire right now, and the propaganda is hot. And they're like, the white people are rioting. Like, wait a minute, you're in the UK, isn't all of you white? Like, what are you talking about? I don't understand any of that shit. But it's propaganda. They're lying about the people that are pissed off. They're saying that they're xenophobes. They're pretty much racist against anybody from outside England. And which doesn't seem to be the case considering I keep wanting to say they're storming. They're not storming. They're outside protesting and pissed off of asylum seeker centers, which is border crossers. People who illegally entered the country. They just go under the name asylum seeker the same way the Democrats talk about abortions as women's health care. It's death is not health care. Just like border crossers are not legal migrants. So, you know, spinning the bullshit. Pretty soon that'll be here. That's the only reason why we're covering it is because it's going to be here any day now. What's up, Paul? Happy freedom. Mr. B, new polls equals media BS. I agree. I think that people know that the media lies to some degree. So them coming out and being like, this is true, isn't good enough. So they have to be like, well, we took a poll and this is what Americans say. And people are like, yeah, that's the truth. Like, no, it's not. No, it's not. They're just a bunch of fucking liars. Free Thinker Texan, they keep saying far right are the ones rioting. Yeah, Free Thinker Texan, they do. They're like, right wingers are in the streets. Like, you mean citizens? People who legally live in the country, they're all mad? If they said it for what it was, they wouldn't show it to us in America. They'd be too afraid that Americans would be like, hey, that looks like something to do. It is summertime. Let's get in the streets. You know? That's what they're working on. DeMarquise, treason season. Yeah, it feels like it. What's up, 12th man? Happy freedom. What's up, Tony Rich? Happy freedom to you. If I didn't get you. What's up, Tammy C? Happy freedom. What's up, Karen? Appreciate you being here. Just reading through. I think we're good to go. Tammy C, I have dumbasses at work that still believe all the news. Yeah, Tammy C, it's because You got to actually follow the news to see the hypocrisy, to lose your trust in the news. You know, like we say all the time, it's easier to be tricked than have somebody explain to you that you've been tricked. You have to find that shit out on your own. You got to follow the news let you down, and then you stop trusting the news and you start trusting the people around you. And once that happens, you've pulled the butt plug out and you're no longer asleep or woke, and you're awake now. But, you know, people it seems like they got to walk that walk on their own. Anytime you try to red pill somebody, unless they're standing next to you during J6 or something, most of the time it's ineffective. Anyways, we're going to get into this next video. This is Chicago officials at odds with the DNC protesters. I think that's a clever way to word it. They're not pro-Hamas protesters. There's no BLM anymore. I don't even know the last time I heard about BLM in the fucking news. They're just gone now. They are the pro-Hamas protesters, but in this instance, they're just called DNC protesters. God only knows what that means. These could be Republicans, they could be Democrats, but the way they're talking and the guy they show that's kind of representation of the protesters, I'm thinking they're talking Democrats. But once again, this is titled Chicago officials at odds with the DNC protesters. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
The Democratic National Convention is just under 2 weeks away, friends. Chicago officials and protest groups, though, are at odds over how close the tens of thousands of demonstrators will be allowed to get to the United Center, where the convention is really going to be taking place. News Nation's Mills Hayes is joining us now live from there. Mills, has there been any progress between the police and the protest groups? This is a lot of people, big crowds.
Hey, good morning to you, Anna. Well, not a ton of progress, but yesterday there was a hearing, and they're still trying to figure out exactly where these protesters are going to be. The city of Chicago wants to see the tens of thousands of protesters that are expected to be here at the DNC to be a couple blocks away from the convention center and a little bit out on those side streets. But some of the protesters that I spoke with say that they want more space, they want to be closer to the United Center, and they also want more than double the amount of the space that Chicago police is offering. After 2 hours of arguments in a federal courtroom Monday, Judge Andrea Wood said that she would make a decision before the convention begins in less than 2 weeks. Wood promised a decision at least 6 days before the DNC. Protesters say that the smaller route proposed is a violation of their First Amendment rights, and organizers from dozens of different activist groups, including immigrant right groups, LGBTQ plus protesters, and anti-racist groups, say that they want to end U.S. military aid to Israel and create an independent Palestinian state.
We're going to continue to fight, and we're going to continue to pressure the city of Chicago to give us this route, because it's in the best interest of the tens of thousands of protesters, and it's in the best interest of the city.
Another status hearing is expected to be on August 13th. That's only 6 days before the DNC actually begins. But protesters I spoke with tell me that they could see a written statement from the judge on exactly where those demonstrators can be at some time this week. Anna?
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to join in.
I want to know how they know how many protesters are going to be there. How do they know that shit? Like, hey, we're just calling in advance to let you guys know we're planning on protesting. Yeah, we got a lot of people here who don't agree with what you're doing, so we're all going to show up on this day. At this time, we're going to need a space for us. Is that how it works? I thought protesting was like a rebellious thing. Like, you just did the shit. It just happened. You didn't call and schedule and get a permit and ask for permission and shake hands and play some grab ass and circle jerk and all that. I didn't know you did all that. Like, how did the BLMers get away with this shit if they had to do so much paperwork for it? I don't know. That sounds weird to me. And they're like, yeah, there's going to be tens of thousands of them. Really? There's going to be that many? Where? From where? Where'd you get these fucking people? Where they been at? Where they been at? They're just showing up out of nowhere. DNC time trying to call the DNC protesters. What? That sounds weird to me. They're all going to show up with MAGA hats. Why they're going to show up rioting, but they're going to have MAGA hats on? Calling it now. They're gonna have face piercings and drug addiction, but they'll have a MAGA hat, and everyone's gonna be like, oh no, it's J6 2.0. They're rioting outside the DNC. They're like, why does it smell like shit though? They're like, no, it's Republicans. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Next up, we got Hyena Harris chooses Tim Walz as running mate. So we've been learning about Tim Walz, and he's a full-blown piece of shit. Not really surprised by that. But before we get into it, we're going to read through the chat. And before we do that, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or on jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. Gonna read through the chat really quick, and we got Hyena Harris's new VP boyfriend and Dr. Evil. Stupid. He's worse than that. At least Dr. Evil was funny. Shit. What's up, Sam? Happy Freedom. What the hell did I miss? Well, I don't know what they're doing in the chat. I didn't start it. I'm blaming it on Snooks. I'm blaming this one on Snooks. Snooks, grab ass is fine. Butt plugs are not. Well, it depends. To each their own. Russell, grab ass is a fun sport. Never been good at it. What's up, Moose Girl? Happy Freedom. Free the Texan. Everything reminds me of her. Every time I hit a pothole. Snooks. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Saying, ew, yuck, who uses butt plugs? You're going to have people signing up. They're going to be like, I do. Here's a picture. Your DMs are going to be lit later. Mandela. Everyone was talking shit to me on the website saying I'm obsessed with butt plugs. And I said, no, I'm just desensitizing everyone so no one is shocked when we got them in stock. Mandela says, don't you be shocked when we order them. Well, touche. Sammy always busting out the taco holder, and I think that's fantastic. I don't know how we could, even attempt to beat that. Holding the taco is the ultimate trophy. Paul, not having another primary is a crime. Dems do democracy very well. Yeah. Well, like we say all the damn time, they set the rules, then we start beating them in the rules, then they change the rules. That's how Democrats are. They just move the goalposts over and over again. What's up, Wayward? Happy Freedom. Nah, Fitzy, it ain't for me. It's a gift for her, not for me. Astro Hammer. Cackle Toes VP is bringing normal back. Is that what's going on? I thought he was a little weird. He seemed a little weird to me. Ghostly. Hyena Harris didn't pick the guy from Pennsylvania because he's Jewish. She might have just lost Pennsylvania's vote over it. Yeah, Ghostly. They were hinting that it was going to be Shapiro, and then it wasn't. And everyone's like, why not? And then every single response is like, because he's Jewish. And that, it seems to be that everybody knows it. Everyone knows what's going on. Puff of stuff, Hamas supporters. Yeah, that's what the protesters are. Pro-Hamas. Pumpkin, I hope they protest the heck out of the Dems. It's going to be a good time. So I'm wondering how it's going to go because I didn't have intentions of covering the DNC. Because it's going to be a shit show. And it's probably going to be boring. And there's going to be a lot of crying. And everyone's going to smell bad. So I wasn't intending on covering the DNC. I figured we would be covering highlights and random clips and stuff from the DNC of anything that's worthwhile. But if there's going to be live protesters, if they actually burn shit down, we may be covering live protests during Coffee with Hooligans. But I'm not sure how it's going to go yet because we got to endure it to know what's happening. What's up, Trump Girl? Happy Freedom. They hired the protesters is how they know. Yeah, Trump Girl, that's what I think too. They're using crowds on demand. That's why they know how many people are going to be there. Ghostly, so I switched from SIGs to Zins and haven't had a SIG in 3 days and I don't even want one. Already breathing better. Well, that's good, Ghostly. I don't know what those Zins do to you, and I don't think anybody knows yet. Just like vaping, no one knows what happens if you vape for long term. But smoking cigarettes is bad, so if it's gotten you to quit smoking, congratulations. It is very hard to quit smoking cigarettes. I smoked a lot for 7 years, and then I just quit one day and never went back. And it's a very hard thing to do, so I hope you stick to it, Ghostly. It's badass. What's up, Deep South Jody? Happy Freedom. Screaming Eagle, I'm hoping for a redo of the 1968 DNC. What happened with that, Screaming Eagle? This is the first DNC I've ever paid attention to, so I don't know anything about the DNC. Alistair, it's hilarious how the generation that said, don't believe everything you see, are a lot of the ones who are saying, well, the news said so. Yeah, Alistair, you're so right. You're so right. It is funny how that's kind of come full circle. Like, don't believe everything you see on TV. And then they turn around and we're like, trust the science, while wearing 3 masks. It's like, okay. All right, whatever you say. What's up, Killer J? Happy freedom. Eric, DNC did not cooperate, or do not cooperate. Yeah, they all eat each other. It's their favorite. What's up, Snickle Fritz? Happy freedom. Tammy C never watched the DNC either. I can't imagine it's that entertaining. It's one or the other. It's either so obnoxious that you can't watch it, or they cry so hard that it's like a humorous soap opera. Because the certification process for J6 was pretty humorous. Now, because we had endured the whole day, we were live like 16 or 17 hours that day, none of us were laughing. But to go back and watch the certification process after years of like letting those feelings go, because what can you do about shit 4 years ago except for plan for the future? It is kind of humorous to see them get up there and be like, I was making what I thought was my last phone call to my children because the extremists were in the hallways. They were in the chambers and they were going to get us. And it's like, okay. Okay, whatever you say. People were wandering around. They weren't really doing a whole lot, but these Democrats, they were scared out of their fucking mind. And I think that's hilarious. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and move forward here. This is Hyena Harris chooses Tim Walz as the running mate. I think it's weird that I never heard about this guy, but we covered so much of Minnesota. Now I've been doing a lot of deep diving on him, so I feel like we were dancing around him this whole time, and he was there, but he didn't have any spotlight, and now they're showing these clips from the protests and shit. He's out there signing the sidewalk and wearing fucking compliance cloths and all this shit, and I'm like, oh, maybe I do remember that guy. Anyways, this is titled Hyena Harris chooses Tim Walz as her running mate.
Well, leading us off this afternoon, the decision is in. Thanks for joining us. I'm Journey Taylor. Hours ago, Kamala Harris announced her pick for vice president, solidifying the Democratic ticket. Natalie Brand has more on how the nation is responding.
Vice President Kamala Harris has made her biggest decision yet as the official Democratic presidential nominee, selecting Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her running mate. Last week, Walz spoke about his chances of being Harris's number 2.
Whatever she wants is it in this moment, and just to be candid, to put a ticket together that wins in November.
The 60-year-old former high school teacher is in his second term as governor of Minnesota. He previously represented the state for 6 terms in the U.S. House and served in the Army National Guard. Walz led Minnesota during the pandemic and unrest following the police killing of George Floyd. Some political watchers see his selection as a way to appeal to moderates in the Midwest and key states that could decide this election.
Tim Walz is going to be, I think, very critical and crucial to moving some of those disaffected Republicans and those independent voters, creating a permission structure for them to support Kamala Harris.
Harris had not made a final decision as of last night. We're told her team printed multiple versions of campaign signs for tonight's rally in Philadelphia to be prepared no matter who she chose.
The campaign stop in Pennsylvania kicks off a battleground state swing across the country. Former President Trump's running mate J.D. Vance is on his own battleground tour, also starting in Philadelphia.
You have J.D. Vance, who is a Midwesterner from Ohio. So this is an interesting contrast that we'll see on the VP debate stage if that comes to pass.
As the Trump campaign works to put Minnesota in play this November, it's released a statement calling Walz a, quote, dangerously liberal extremist. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Yes, so that is Walz, and he's nobody special. They keep calling him Tampon Tim over on Twitter. I don't know what they call him on other platforms because everywhere else is fucking censored. So I only hang out on Twitter and Truth. Tampon Tim. I think we got a little bit more. Yeah, this next one is J.D. Vance responds to Tim Walz pick. We'll just go ahead and get right into this because it all has to do with the same dumbass. So let's go ahead and do that.
The reason I didn't say a whole lot about
Hold on.
is because the
JD
Democrats...
Vance, you got to wait for YouTube to wake the fuck up. All right, there we go. Like I said, we're going to get into this, and then right after this video, we'll hop in the chat. This one is titled, JD Vance responds to Tim Walz pick.
The reason I didn't say a whole lot about Tim Walz is because the Democrats have showed a willingness to pull a little switcheroo on us. So I don't even know if we're actually going to get Tim Walz out of this campaign. And I think that a lot of us are asking ourselves, well, it's not going to be official until the Democrats actually nominate him, I guess, at their convention next week. So that's the first reason. The second reason is, look, Tim Walz's record is a joke. He's been one of the most far-left radicals in the entire United States government at any level. But I think that what Tim Walz's selection says is that Kamala Harris has bent the knee to the far left of her party, which is what she always does. Kamala Harris listened to the Hamas wing of the party. She selected Tim Walz, a guy who wants to ship more manufacturing jobs to China, who wants to give illegal aliens driver's license, and who wants to make the fentanyl crisis that we just heard about so much worse because he refuses to do his job and actually make it easier for American citizens and not illegal aliens to live a good life. So I think what it says is that Kamala Harris is running as a San Francisco liberal. She is governed as a San Francisco liberal, and she's chosen a running mate who will be a San Francisco-style liberal. The last thing that I'll say about Tim Walz is, to her credit, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz do make an interesting team, because if we remember the rioting in the summer of 2020, Tim Walz was the guy who let rioters burn down Minneapolis, and then Kamala Harris was the one who bailed the rioters out of jail. So there's an interesting team in that sense. Look, I'm skeptical that whoever the VP nominee is, most people are voting at the top of the ticket. But here's the thing about Tim Walz. Look, Tim Walz is a guy who wants to take children away from their parents if the parents don't agree to do sex changes and the school wants to. That's crazy, right? A fundamental violation of parental rights. Tim Walz is a guy who wants to ship more and more American manufacturing jobs to China. He said it on camera in the name of the green energy scam. Well, if you care about the environment, and I certainly do, why are you going to ship American manufacturing jobs to the dirtiest economy in the world? Why wouldn't you keep them right here in Pennsylvania, in Philadelphia, in the places that really need it? This is a guy who, when rioters were burning down the biggest city in Minnesota, was actively cheering them on. You think the black business leaders in Minneapolis are grateful, the working class business leaders are grateful that Tim Walz allowed rioters to burn down their businesses? You think that people are grateful to have a guy who wants to ship manufacturing jobs off to China? There's no way the American people are going to buy it. It just doesn't make sense. And again, the biggest problem with the Tim Walz pick, it's not Tim Walz himself, it's what it says about Kamala Harris. That when given an opportunity, she will bend the knee to the most radical elements of her party. That's exactly what she did here. That's what she's going to keep on doing as president. That's why we got to elect Donald J. Trump, President of the United States.
Yeah, do you think you have any similarities? And you can talk about like common ground that you share with Walz.
Well, look, I mean, yeah, we're white guys from the Midwest. I guess there are similarities there. But what's different is the actual ideas about how best to serve people, white, black, or anything else, in the Midwest and everywhere else, right? I can't believe this is a guy who tries to claim that he stands for working people, and yet he wants to pursue energy policies that are going to ship everybody's job to China. In some ways, what Tim Walz represents is doubling down on failed 30 years of leadership in this country, where we don't make enough of our own stuff. We don't use enough of our own workers to make enough of our own stuff. We rely on everybody else for energy instead of American citizens, and then we throw open the southern border to make our communities less livable and less safe. He is the double down choice for failed leadership, and again, Kamala Harris selected him. I don't know why, but I think it's because she's fundamentally a radical herself, and she wanted a partner in crime.
Well, only time will tell. I don't know much about Tim Walz. I'm just learning everything today. Like, everything I'm figuring out is just today. Is he from Michigan? I've seen him post with a lot of Michigan State merch, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't be from here. Don't be from here. You look like a piece of shit. I can't tell if these people are radical or if they're just really stupid and they're controlled by radical people, but neither is a good option. I can't believe people are even considering voting for these individuals. All they can promise is killing babies. That's all they got. And I I can't believe it because everyone seems unhappy. Nobody likes the crime. Nobody likes the lack of resources. Nobody likes the way that life is going. We have an opportunity to change that. And one party is like, well, we'll let you kill babies, but everything else is going to stay the same or get worse. And then you have the other party who wants to make America great again. And they're not even going to make any changes to the way people kill babies currently. So why would any thinking person even consider voting against President Trump? It just doesn't make sense. Killing babies isn't so important that like you're going to be homeless. Like you're living in the streets starving to fucking death, but you're like, at least I can kill babies. Like what? You got border crossers living in your house and shit, killing your kids, kidnapping your family members. Well, at least I can kill babies. Like stupid. That's the cure-all? I don't know. It must be different to be a woman because from a man's perspective, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Now, I can't go out there and do that kind of shit. There ain't no, what is it called? Planned Parenthood for dudes. So maybe it's just my mansplaining get in the fucking way. I'm not sure. Anyways, next up we have Google has an illegal monopoly on search. The U.S. judge finds. I want to see the downfall of Google. That'd be so badass. I've been saying they got a monopoly, and now a judge agrees with me. He should have said, Jeff was right. He should have said that in court. But anyways, it looks like Google is going down, and X and Rumble just got together to sue the people that control the censorship for Google and other platforms. We covered a video talking about it. They're called GARM or something like that, and it's some censorship agency. And they're currently facing a lawsuit from X and Rumble, and I hope they take them down. I'm trying to get a video to explain this stuff, but it's so new there isn't any videos on it yet. Maybe tomorrow we'll be able to get a video on that. But this upcoming video has to do with a ruling that just happened with Google. Now, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. They should pay us. That's what they should do. But we'll see. Either way, it's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about that last video. And is JD Vance wearing eyeliner? That's something I wanted to ask, and I got sidetracked here reading through the chat. Now, I mean, I wouldn't assume it, but I got banging ass eyelashes. I've been that way my whole life. Like, people come up to me and compliment my eyelashes. Women come up to me and tell me how they are envious of my eyelashes. And I never took it seriously till filters came out. Like when you're on TikTok and shit and you use those filters, you guys remember. You remember. I can't use filters because they make my eyelashes popping. I got dudes trying to hit on me and shit. And so I'm like, okay, I can't use that stuff. My eyelashes are just too damn sexy. But then I see JD Vance here and I'm like, why is your eyelashes so much darker than mine? If I got the perfect eyelashes, what the fuck do you got going on? So I'm trying to figure out, is JD Vance got eyeliner on? Because he looks like he's got pretty eyes up there, and it's making me feel concerned. I hope they're not doing that. I hope they're not doing that. I don't want to see JD Vance wearing fucking makeup. That's going to lose the election. Better not be doing that shit. Anyways, read through the chat, and we're going to hear about the downfall of Google. Mandela, I think his lashes are just dark versus those baby blues. It could be. That could be. I was just wondering. I'm like, man, he better not be wearing eyeliner. He's gonna show up at the next rally wearing lipstick and high heels. I'm not gonna say like DeSantis. I wasn't gonna say that. I don't know DeSantis wears lipstick, but man, that guy, he be wearing those high heels, don't he? I don't forget shit. Not when it comes to that. Mr. Beansy Beans, I'm catching the live of the rally for JD Vance, Philadelphia on CNN News 18 or whatever on YouTube. That is fake, Mr. Beansy Beans. CNN 18 on YouTube has the check mark like it's official. That is a fake channel that YouTube is protecting for some reason. Nothing that channel shows is ever live. They show riots and shit 24 hours a day. That is not happening. That shit is so fake. And somehow I got demonetized, but that channel's just running fine. Showing fake shit 24 hours a day. Fuck YouTube. Russell, some people have deleting babies is the number one issue. Yeah, Russell, and it's because of fear mongering. They're like, but what if? But what if? But what if? But what if? And poor me. But what if? But what if? We need to kill babies because of what if. That's it. And they got a story, well, this one time 300 years ago, this kind of thing happened, and whatever. And what if that happens to one of us? But what if? And that's what's got them in a chokehold. Be scared as fuck. Got to worry about deleting babies. It's stupid. So stupid. I'd like to be able to buy chicken again. Like, I don't even think about deleting babies. Like, shit. If I have a baby, I want to be able to feed it chicken. Like, shit. I want to have the money. I want to be able to do shit. You know? I want to have some freedom still. Guess I'm Jay. So they have the two most radical candidates. Everyone hates them. And that's their choice. Something's up. Yeah, I guess I'm waiting for them to announce them as the winners. That's when shit's not going to be funny anymore. Breeze by you. As a woman, it makes no sense to me either. I mean, you would think that people would want more than that. You know, something more out of the deal than just the ability to delete babies. Mandela keyword, you said thinking people. Yeah, those people don't think. They just follow orders. That's what she does. Russell, I really like JD Vance. And he makes sense when he talks. Yeah, Russell. I think JD Vance is a pretty good speaker. I like that he's rough around the edges. Like, he did a terrible introduction to President Trump. Not the last Trump rally, but the rally before then. He was like, I'm trying to think how he said it. He said something like, yeah, my friend, the 45th president, President Trump. And then everyone was looking at each other, and then it just abruptly plays the music, and President Trump walks out. And I was like, that was the shittiest introduction I have ever seen for President Trump. But it's real, though. It's authentic. It's how it would be if one of us went up there and did it. You know, we don't do this shit every day. Make way for the president. You know, like, it's rough around the edges, and it feels authentic. And that's what I like about JD Vance. I still haven't decided if I like him totally or not. But there's things I like about him. And as I've said a couple times now, he's just the VP. I'm not worried really that much about him. He's just another character in the story at this point. I'm more worried about the policies and promises that President Trump is talking about. JD Vance is just Robin. He's just Robin to the Batman. Now, if you need help and you call Batman and Batman shows up and Robin's ugly, do you want Batman to go away, or do you still need fucking help? That's how I'm looking at it. And so I don't really care what Robin looks like as long as Batman is there when I need him to be there. So I see things about JD Vance that I like, but I'm more worried about the Orange Eagle than anything else. And that's where that whole weird stuff doesn't even reach me. They're like, oh, JD Vance is weird. So what? We're voting for President Trump. Like, you've lost focus if you're aiming at the VP. Like, we're not exactly voting for the VP. We're voting for President Trump. So you can say JD Vance is weird all you want to, as long as we got closed borders and mass deportations and dudes out of women's sports and all that other shit. JD Vance could be weird as shit. Like, it doesn't matter to me, you know? Just saying. Yeah, Mr. Beansy Beans. I can't tell you what to do as far as disciplinary actions, or if you were to like accidentally report the fake channels on the YouTube platform so they don't exist anymore. You know, I can't encourage that kind of behavior, but I know that the channel CNN 18 or whatever on YouTube that shows fake lives 24 hours a day, I know they shouldn't be allowed to do that. And so it's not your fault, Mr. Beansy Beans. I had to find out the hard way. You know what that was like for me? Having 20 people send me the link to that channel and talk bad about me about why I'm not live showing riots. Because they're not real. Because the shit's fake. It's old ass footage being replayed 24 hours a day. I got people writing me hate mail over it. Saying, hey, get your lazy ass up and show this shit. Stop being a dumb bitch. I'm like, hold up. You're the one watching fake shit. That ain't me. Like, coming over here, come like stupid, you know? Wound too tight. What's up, Tom? Happy freedom. Sam, they're trying to make the country a communist country. Yep. They are. And they're using social media to make it feel like we're all surrounded. Like we're just surrounded by commies and we don't have a choice. We don't have a way out. We got to just accept this. But like I've said, the social media is manipulated. You want to scale something? Go to like a biker meetup. Go to like a classic car show that's going on locally. Go to your local Walmart during a busy hour. And look at the people in your area. Like, look at them. Do these people look like radicals? If they do, how many people are in the store? Like, what's the percentage of radicals in your line of sight at the store? It'll be very different from what you see on social media. On social media, you see all this shit and you think it's 50-50. It's not. There's not that many liberals out there. There's not that many radicals out there. There's not that many lefties out there. It just looks like it because of the internet. And most of that shit you see is fake. Those bots are fake. The content is fake. The comments are fake. The shit, the numbers, the views, the plays, the likes, it's fake. It's generated bullshit. But when you see it, it affects your perception. And your perception is how you view reality. And so it's all manipulation. And it's bullshit. Zupia, did you see the new ad Trump released calling Walz weird over and over? No, I did not, but I'm going to look for it. I like that President Trump posts videos. He's always cracking me up. 4 hours ago.
Kamala Harris.
Okay. Doing some improv here on my improv. It's improv inception because the show is all improv anyway. So throwing a lateral here. This is Hyena Harris and Tim Walz. Weak, failed, dangerously liberal.
Kamala Harris just doubled down on her radical vision for America by tapping another left-wing extremist as her VP nominee. Tim Walz will be a rubber stamp for Kamala's dangerously liberal agenda, like allowing convicted felons to walk free, embracing anti-American Green New Deal policies, and giving up control of our southern border to criminal aliens and violent drug cartels. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're failed, weak, and dangerously liberal.
Yeah, that was a pretty good video. Read through a little bit more and we'll get on to this next one. Thank you, Zupia, for letting me know. That was a pretty good one. Alistair, whatever Trump does can be undone in 4 years if the next Republican loses the next election, and the VP would have to be solid to keep Trump's policies. Well, yeah, Alistair, and I worry about that stuff. And I said that before. I said that back in like 2020, that it would be great to have the Orange Eagle, but what if we get him in, we have a great 4 years, and then we go back to this shit? Then we won't even have MAGA to hope for. Like, Trump will be done. He will have done his 2 terms. And yeah, we could hope that Eric or Don Jr. runs, but what if they don't? MAGA's over then. And so we'll be right where we are right now, but we won't have the Orange Eagle to be holding America's hope. You know what I mean? And so I said that before, but people started losing hope themselves. And so I stopped saying that shit because I was seeing how it was affecting people. And there's no need to think that far ahead. We could all die tomorrow. So we ain't got to worry about 8 years. We'll just go ahead and worry about November. And we'll walk that walk when we get there. Zupia, I'll see if I can find the ones. Literally called Tim Walz weird about 6 times. Oh, see if you can find a Zupia. I thought that was the video. I guess it makes sense. He didn't call him weird, but yes. What's up, Red Bear? Happy Freedom. DeMarquise, I thought Blue Team hated Walz. Yeah, only on the border. Only on the border. Just reading through. What's up, Anthony? Happy Freedom. What's up, Too Real? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Garrett? What's up, Cameron? Garrett, Hyena Harris is pretty clear with her agenda with this VP pick. Yeah. Too Real. Oh shit, Jeff Mack says we're gonna die tomorrow. The walls are starting to close in. It happens. It really does. I really do get crazy hate mail. Shit you guys wouldn't even believe. What's up, WMM? Happy Freedom. Jeff Rowe, Trump must make things permanent through the House and Senate. Yeah, but they could still sign executive orders. They could knock anything out. You know, just like old man Walter did. He showed up and did 118 executive orders or something like that on the very first day. And so anything that gets put in, they can knock it out. But that's the gamble. That's the deal. It's just the way it is. Breezed by you. People who send hate mail need to get a life. Oh, they act like I fucking destroyed their life. You'd be surprised the things that people say to me and blame me for. The stuff that I get blamed for is so crazy. I literally just try my best every day. And I know I don't do perfect. And I know there's fuck ups. And there's some things that aren't great. And sometimes my honesty hurts. But man, people get mad. People get real mad. And they shit on me a lot every single day. Anyways, on to other shit. This is titled, Google has an illegal monopoly on search, and a U.S. judge has just ruled on it.
A U.S. judge ruled on Monday that Google violated antitrust law, spending billions of dollars to create an illegal monopoly and become the world's default search engine. It's the first big win for federal authorities taking on big tech's market dominance. Google controls about 90% of the online search market and 95% on smartphones. The ruling said it paid over $26 billion in 2021 alone to ensure that its search engine was the default on smartphones and browsers, and to keep its dominant market share. Parent firm Alphabet said it plans to appeal the ruling. The legal wrangling could play out into next year or even 2026. The decision paves the way for a second trial to determine potential fixes, including a possible breakup of Alphabet. That would change the landscape of the online advertising world that Google has dominated for years. Now the ruling is also a green light to aggressive U.S. antitrust enforcers prosecuting big tech, a sector that has been under fire from across the political spectrum. Shares of Alphabet fell 4.5% on Monday amid a broad decline in tech shares as the wider stock market plunged over fears of a recession.
Well, that is only the first step, because like I said, there's more lawsuits coming. That's not it, but I'm glad to see the way things are going, because Google does have a monopoly. Now, I wonder about some of their other companies, because like they just mentioned the Alphabet company, which is apparently whoever owns Google. But at the same time, there's a company called like XIXXI or XIXII, and that's who pays YouTube creators. When I get my whatever it is, 1099 at the end of the year from YouTube, which I don't get anymore because I'm demonetized, and I have been for over a year now, so fuck them. I don't get shit from them. But when I would get that in the mail, I'd be like, who the fuck is this? Like, where is this from? And I'd have to Google it, ironically, and find out that's them. That's some sort of parent company that no one talks about. But that's who sends us texts, shit for being paid by YouTube. Being paid by AdSense or whatever it is, because YouTube doesn't actually pay you. They have some Google third party pay you. And it's a mess, because they're a fucking mess. And it really feels like shell corporations. It feels like company names all stacked on top of each other. This is owned by this, and owned by this, and owned by this, and owned by this, but it's all owned by like a single group of people. It seems like there's shady stuff going on, so I'm glad that people are actually looking into it, and I'm all here for the downfall of Google, like big time. They do election interference and all kinds of other stuff. They're censoring free speech and just manipulating a lot of things in life, and it's wrong. And it's crazy they even have that much power. It's dumb. Shouldn't be that way. Shouldn't be that way, and hopefully we'll see some change. Next up, we have Virginia man charged with threatening the vice president, and then it's just comma others. I don't know who writes these titles, but they suck. But yeah, this guy, he was talking shit on social media. I think he was on Getter. They got him on Getter. Anyways, it's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat. And before we do, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see the big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat, and like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops. Your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, screaming goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live, so definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. And just a side note, you can only join the membership program on Rumble while we are live. When we're not live, there's a join button, but if you click that button, you are joining locals. and that is not going to provide access to our custom emojis during the Rumble Live. So just know the difference between that. I don't have any choice in that. That's just the way Rumble does things. But if you want to join the Rumble membership, you got to do it while we're live. Anyways, we're going to read through the chat really quick, and we're going to hear about how this Virginia man is being charged with threatening the vice president. What's up, Cassandra? Happy freedom. Guess what companies does Alphabet own? They own YouTube. Let me see. 100% ownership since 2006. They own Android. 100% ownership since 2005. They own DoubleClick. 100% ownership since 2007. They own Nest Labs. 100% ownership since 2014. They own Fitbit, which I didn't know that. They own 100% of that since 2021. Thank you for finding that, Guess MJ. That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of control. That's a lot of control over those softwares, and to own Android. I mean, that's 50% of the market right there. So it's crazy. Too much control for commies. Guess this is why Microsoft started endorsing Trump all of a sudden. Yeah, I believe it. Guess the money. Tom, I thought monopolies were illegal. Yeah, they're supposed to be. But apparently people only have a problem if you bring it up, and you got to have enough money to bring it up. Breeze by you. Sorry you get those lame haters. You don't do anything to deserve that. I just let people down every day. Not that I try to, but it just happens. People have a perception of me, and then if I say the wrong thing, or I question something Trump says, or I question something any Republican or conservative says, then people turn on me. And they're like, oh no, you need to be brainwashed and follow Trump's orders. Just say yes to everything. I'm like, no, I'm not like that. And they're like, you're a grifter. Okay. Whatever you say, buddy. So, well, screw Google. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't do that. You know it's got viruses. But no. I'm here for the downfall of Google. Pumpkin. Well, Google isn't a person. Would have to be a convicted criminal corp. I mean, I don't even think there would be criminal punishment. A lot of, what do they call this? Like white collar crime or something like that? Or is it blue collar crime? It's some colored crime. That's racist. No. I think that's what it is, where it's like it may result in fees, but like nobody's going to go to jail. Nobody's going to go to jail for that. What will most likely happen if they do try to stop a monopoly is they will have some sister corporation or some bullshit that they're connected to, but they don't own it. And they'll have those people own a section of Google. And that way they'll still be a monopoly, but they'll be like in a loophole or something like that. But anything to disrupt their communist bullshit. Zupia, I found it. Sending you a link. Okay. Thank you, Zupia. Come on, Twitter. Where's the chat bubble? Wake up, Twitter. Holy. Zupia.
This isn't just you.
All right. So we're going to get into this video here that Zupia just sent me. It's titled Tim Walz, Camilla's Weird New Running Mate and VP. And let's see what it's all about.
This isn't just YouTube, it's Blux. Real, raw, and ridiculously fun. No fluff, no fakes. Get ready for a Blux experience. Smash subscribe. Love ya.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a minute.
Tim Walz is endangering minors. He's Crazy Kamala's new VP. In this video, you will get to know him better. Blux News.
Why is the voice so breathy? What flag is that?
There, that's better.
What could be weirder than signing a bill into law that requires schools to stock tampons in boys' bathrooms? Or weirder than signing legislation allowing minors to receive sex change operations? Try electing the man who signed those bills, Vice President of the United States. Enter Chief Weirdo Tim Walz. As governor of Minnesota, Walz supported legislation that endangers minors, hurts women, and puts radical ideology ahead of common sense. Now Kamala wants Walz to enforce those laws on a national scale. Tim Walz, too weird, too radical.
The purpose of being here is we've been signing a lot of bills. We've been welcoming our neighbors back into their communities by making sure we're restoring voting rights to folks. We're making sure that our neighbors can drive to their kids' soccer games. So today, I am directing my state agencies to take action to protect and support the rights of Minnesota's LGBTQIA+ community.
Last name? I'm going to do it. Here it is. And guess what? Love wins. Here you go.
If you like truthful news and wonderful facts, subscribe to Blux News.
Yeah, he's a bad guy. He is a bad guy. Now I heard about the tampon thing. I didn't know about him signing in transing kids and stuff, but I'm not surprised. I mean, if he thinks boys need tampons, then what does he know, right? He doesn't know a whole lot. So, anyways, he's a terrible person. Let me see here. Reading through the chat, let me see what we got next. Oh yeah, next we are going to be covering Virginia man charged with threatening the vice president, but we're going to read through a little bit more before getting into that. Pumpkin colored crime. No, collared crime. That's what I was trying to say. Not colored crime. What color was the crime? It was dark yellow. Pretty sure. Normal times at this point, Google is a criminal enterprise. Yeah, well, I wish they would be charged with election interference, because that's what it is. Like, that's the biggest problem. Like, yeah, they censor free speech, but they got Section 230, and they have all kinds of loopholes that allow them to do what they're doing. Now, the privacy stuff, I'm not sure how they got hit for that, but at least they did. But I want to see them go down for election interference, because that's what they do that seems to be the most impacting to us. Maybe not on an everyday level, but if they're manipulating your vote, like that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Jeff Rowe, the censorship of the iconic fight pick. Yep. Free Think a Texan. Google has their fingers in everything. They do. They're connected to everything. Alistair, I imagine Jeff getting Stan type emails. Alistair, I even got your name tattooed across my chest. I actually don't. I don't. I had somebody say something to me about that, about tits. They were like, I bet your email is full of people sending you tits. It's really not. It's really not. People only write me when they have problems. No one ever writes me to, like, say, hey, would you like to try and do this? Or we should try and do that. Or let's come out with a shirt that looks like this. Or what if we made these changes? Or hey, here, this is a good idea. No. It's always, my day's gone to shit and it's all your fault, and and then rattle off some shit that I didn't even do. And that's how it goes. Nobody sends me tits. Nobody sends me happy emails. It's just damning emails. That's how it goes. Tony Rich, brain worms again. Are we talking about RFK Jr.? He should come out with Brainworms merch. If he hasn't done that yet, he totally should. Crazy Time sounds like a piece of shit. Yeah. Wells sure does. He sounds too woke. Too woke for America. Cameron Trump only needed a pad for about a week, because he's got this pussy's bleeding. That's why. Anyways. Let's get on to this video. I think it's a short one. Yeah. 36 seconds. And I kind of feel like we might have a follow-up to this. And I think it's kind of weird that I didn't even hear about it until now. Once again, this is titled, Virginia Man Charged with Threatening the Vice President, others.
A Virginia man was arrested on Friday and charged with threatening to kill Vice President Kamala Harris. According to court documents, Frank Carrillo from Winchester made his first court appearance today. Prosecutors say he made the threats on social media, where he also targeted President Biden, FBI Director Christopher Wray, and several other public officials. FBI agents searched his home at the time of his arrest and found a rifle and a handgun. Carrillo will remain behind bars until a detention hearing set for Thursday.
Come on, man.
So, I didn't necessarily hear it in this video, but I watched 3 or 4 videos on that to figure out what the hell they were talking about. And apparently the guy was making posts on Getter. And I didn't get to see what the posts were. I didn't see anything describing what the posts were. But he was making comments on Getter. And somehow the Fed boys found out and they went and picked him up. He's in trouble. They're doing a lot of that in the UK right now. If you post obscene content on social media, then the government can throw you in jail over there. And there's lots of videos right now of people having cops show up at their house like, hey, you posted this on social media, you're going to jail now because the government decided that what you posted is obscene. It's not good, and it's only a matter of time before they're already doing it here. It's just not to that degree yet. There is Fed boys knocking on doors currently that are saying like, hey, you posted this on Facebook or whatever, and we're here to talk to you about it. And then they even say like, no, we're not here to arrest you. No, nothing you posted was illegal. It wasn't a threat. We just want to know, what do these memes mean? And like, that's too much. That's too much. Fed boys shouldn't be knocking on doors about that. You got freedom of speech. I mean, if the platform doesn't like it, Section 230 says that they can pull it down. So if the post is still up, why the fuck is the Fed boys knocking on doors? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what's happening in life. Next up, we got an interesting story. It's titled, "We Want to Take Care of Our Veterans." Representative Correa, or however you say their name, on psychedelics for PTSD. And in this case, they're talking about the use of MDMA on combat veterans to see if they can treat their PTSD. And just like a little side note here, they're saying it's 90% effective to use MDMA. So who knows, maybe we'll have access to that in the future. But either way, that's what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about those threatening memes. Holy. Guess I'm damn, I'd be executed in the UK. Yeah, it's hard to be a hooligan in the UK these days. Guess but calling for Trump's death is okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of one instant of Fed boys knocking on the doors of liberals who were saying stuff like, don't miss next time, and things like that. Like, nobody cares about that. But why would the Fed boys? They're the ones that were in on it. There you go, hair juicer. You're gonna make a ton off that. Get to printing. Start selling them on the shop. Be available in about a week. Guess I don't get tit pics, but it seems like everyone has a dick pic stockpile. Yeah, I guess so. They're sending you like media share links and stuff. Like, here's the link to my Dropbox. Like, no, I don't want to see that. WMM, I've sent you tits. Yeah, WMM, they're nice. They're nice. Both of them. Breeze by you, I don't understand how American doctors are okay with mutilating kids. They need to be helped off the planet. It's because a lot of medical people are so desensitized. You get used to sticking your hands inside of another human every day. Probably not a lot out there that really makes you feel anything. They're just a bunch of numb bastards, not dumb, but numb bastards driving Porsches. That's all they are. I can't stand doctors at all. They're a bunch of snide, dumb fuckers with a degree. And now they're just overglorified Googlers. They used to actually know shit. Now they don't know anything. They come in and they sit down with you and you guys Google shit together. And it's like, well, I could have stayed at home for that. It'd have been $6,000 cheaper. So, like, fuck doctors. They're a waste of time. Moose Girl supports sex changes for kids. Yeah. Yep. Hopefully people are doing justice with the memes out there. Because I know everybody's trying to figure out this Walz guy. Guess I'm fucking groomers. Yep. Yep. And then they do it right in front of kids. And like, yeah, I know they're trying to act like it's a good thing, but it's not. Like, yay, we signed a bill to cut up kids. You guys excited? They're like, yeah, maybe, we don't know. We're children. We don't know anything. It's like, fuck, it's so bad. So bad. Hair juicer, medical grade MDMA, sign me right the fuck up. Yeah, hair juicer. Yep, couldn't afford a vacation until that dropped. Yep. Mandela MDMA is supposed to be naturally produced in the U.S. They've done everything to block the pineal gland. Yeah, Mandela. All the fun natural stuff is banned here in America. Stoner, hooligan doctors are all right, though. Yeah, we got to make doctors great again. Silverwolf, I take drugs. That's all right, Silverwolf. That's okay. Alice, your psychedelics to treat PTSD. Ooh, I have PTSD. I don't know from what, but I can make some shit up. Yeah, Alistair. Eventually, it'll be recreational, like weed. It's just, you're 21 or older. Yeah, just stop at the gas station. Let me get the blueberry flavored MDMA. Yeah, and a twisted tea. Let me get a twisted tea too. Yeah, pretty soon, 5 years. 5 years, it'll be on the shelf. Alistair, let's make a hooligan t-shirt with your name tattooed on some tits on the front of it. Alistair, you heard the man. Let's get on it. Let's get on it. I wonder. People might dig that. They might dig that. Alistair was looking for a project. Paul, anyone ever put a maxi pad on their forehead to mitigate sweat? It works. Follow me for more tips. No tampon for swamp ass. I just wipe. Yeah, Paul, you got to hit it with the re-wipe. That's what we say. We got to hit it with the re-wipe. You know, it's hot in here. You got to get a little re-wipe. No, it's actually good to keep pads in your medic bag. Pads will stop the bleeding, whether you got a hoo-ha or not. I got a whole stack in my to-go bag, and I got another stack in my med pack. You never know what you're going to need it for. Bullet wounds, knife wounds, cat scratches, angry women. Like, you never know. You got to be prepared. Pumpkin, do we have doctors? I wouldn't be surprised. There's hooligans everywhere. We got a lot of hooligans that are like government workers and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. We've even had hooligans that are from like the old Trump campaign. From back in 2016 and stuff. We have hooligans of all shapes, sizes, and careers. Kevin, I got PTSD from the great meme wars. Yeah, got a few of them. Dr. Marquise. You like that, DeMarquise? Dr. Marquise. You've been leveled up. From this point on, you are Dr. Marquise. Holy. DeMarquise, hands in humans sounds like a Harris slogan. God, I know she's like Kermit the Frog. She can't wait for somebody to stick their hand up her ass. She loves it. What's up, Tom Servo? Happy freedom. Wanda, they're training for the thought police. Yep, they sure are. Saying you think wrong. You have wrong thoughts. Mm-hmm. Cameron, after a few hundred threats, I bet they check out anybody. It's hard to say. I think they check who everyone votes for first. They're like, hey, we got a call on a suspicious person. They're like, wait a minute, see who they registered to vote for. Oh, he's a registered Republican. Yeah, better go knock on that fucker's door. You know, that's how it goes. Snooks, I've taken MDMA and it scared the crap out of me. Lucky. You ain't gonna brag about it, Snooks. I've never had the pleasure. So anyways, we're gonna get into this next one here. They say it's going to be a good thing. Only time will tell. Once again, it is titled, "We Want to Take Care of Our Veterans." Representative C on psychedelics for PTSD.
The agency will rule this week on whether to greenlight MDMA treatments for veterans with PTSD. It's a
Hit that like button over on Rumble.
both the federal and state level across the country. Some states, like Oregon, are changing local drug laws and allowing for PTSD treatments using psychedelics. Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Lou Correa of California. Good morning. Thanks for being with us. So the FDA is taking advice from a panel of 11 experts, and 10 of them are said to not allow MDMA treatment. Why should the agency go against their recommendation, do you think?
All what we're asking as members of Congress is look at the data, look at the science, and move ahead. The VA is already moving ahead to study. We're asking to study this psychedelic treatment for veterans. Veterans, as you know, go off and fight, bring back invisible wounds, psychiatric issues. This therapy has been known to work, 90% success rate. We want to fix this. We want to take care of our veterans. That's why.
Yeah, well, we do want to look after our veterans. As a reporter covering wounded warriors, they're coming back from the battlefield with injuries, with arms and legs blown off, shrapnel in their face, invisible wounds like PTSD, and they're things that they would have normally died on the battlefield for. And
Anna,
we're so glad they're home safe, but we got to take care of them when they're here.
Let me tell you the irony of this whole situation. Right now, these therapies are illegal in the United States. So our veterans are going outside the country. They're going to Mexico. They're going to Costa Rica to get treatment. This treatment is 90% successful. There's about 10 private research projects in the U.S. right now verifying this data. And now what we're asking the FDA is look at the data. Forget the last 60 years of the war on drugs. That was wrong. These psychedelic therapies work for our veterans. Don't take it from Lou. Take it from our veterans that are serving in Congress right now that receive this treatment. It works. So FDA, knock it off. Look at the scientific data. Do what's right for our veterans. That's what we're asking.
Well, I think it's important to note, too, that these treatments would only be available to combat veterans, right? But Oregon has actually reversed some of their reforms on psychedelic drugs because of a rise in overdoses and also open-air drug use. So could there be bigger issues if MDMA is allowed?
Anna, this stuff is very powerful. If you not give it to somebody under strict regulations, it can kill you, okay? When I went to Tijuana, Mexico to look at one of these clinics that actually...
He kind of sounds like he's trying to do a Trump impression.
Their regimen is very strict. They have an emergency room. They have doctors on call. They have an ambulance. In the event something goes wrong, they watch the patient for 2 weeks before they're actually treated to make sure there's no other drugs, there's no alcohol in their system. Then they began this 4-day process of essentially treating veterans with these psychedelic treatments. But at the end of the day, this is a very powerful drug. It's very effective. But if you don't watch what you're doing, if you don't know what you're doing, you could have severe consequences. In this situation right now, we're asking this be studied. This be studied for veterans, just for veterans. Forget everything else. Let's just focus on veterans.
All right, Congressman Lou Correa, thank you so much for joining us. Let us know how everything turns out. We'll be watching.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Some MDMA for combat vets. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Could imagine and get you out of that rut feeling, whatever it is, that same old, that you feel like you're stuck on the wheel. I know tripping will get you off the wheel. You wake up from that, you're like, let's do bigger and better things. So hopefully they'll actually come out with some sort of regulated version of that, and instead of making more drug addicts, maybe people can benefit from it and live a normal life to some degree. I'm sure living with PTSD is no fun matter. Next up, we got, I don't know what this is, Nassau, some name that starts with an N. Some county in New York has just passed a law banning the use of face masks in public. Now, this used to be a thing before 2019 or whenever the plague started. It used to be illegal to go into stores wearing a mask and stuff like that because you could be a criminal. And you look like you're up to no good, you know, like conspiracy to commit crime kind of stuff. That's how it used to be, but then it became the liberals' safety blanket, their mobile safe space attached to their face, and people in places and areas have allowed this to continue. But in New York, they're putting a stop to it, which is really weird of all places. I'm really surprised New York was, well, I don't want to say the first one, but they're the loudest one when it comes to banning masks. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about the MDMA. It's reading through. Mandela, I have bad PTSD. 2 trips changed my life. I believe it, Mandela. Hair juicer, I love acid. I get like 10 in a day. Holy hair juicer. I couldn't do 10 in a year. That stuff is too hardcore for me. It's fine every once in a while, like once a year. But other than that, I feel like I'm taking years off my life. Hair juicer, we've been studying it, dumbass. Just spent a weekend at Electric Forest. Yeah, hair juicer, that's all the studying you need. I think I've told you guys, I had a buddy I was at Electric Forest with, and he took ketamine, and he was looking for it. Somebody had told him about it and was like, hey, it's great stuff, you should try it. So he's walking through the crowds, and he's like, ketamine. He's like, you know, saying the stuff. Dealers found him, hooked him up. He comes back. He's tripping his nuggets off. I wander away because I'm already on my own shit. I ain't trying to put up with his shit. We come back, and he's holding onto the car, screaming for his life, saying that he was falling through the ground. He thought he was like in quicksand or something. We had to call the medics to come save his ass. They had to inject him with stuff to get him to chill out because he really thought he was falling through the ground. He was screaming for his life. This guy thought he was going to die. I was like, I ain't never been that high. That's too much. That's too much, buddy. Yeah, that's all the studying you need. You go hang out at a music festival, then just have the doctors come survey you. We've done the studying and the results are in. It's right here, Juicer. What's up, Jay Spray? Happy freedom. It's reading through. Astro Hammer, maybe some people can take some MDMA and live a normal life thinking border crossers are normal. It's okay. I'm on MDMA. Well, that could be too. Astro Hammer. That is a problem with sedating your problems, is that it makes you okay with everything. It just makes you okay with everything. And sometimes that's okay and sometimes it's not. And that's when it comes down to like the user. That's how people abuse pharmaceuticals and shit too. They got a problem. They get a pill for their problem. Well, now they got problems all the fucking time, so they have reasons to take pills all the time. So, yeah, it is a double-edged sword. What's up, Schulers? Happy freedom. Stoner, but was he depressed? He was not, and he actually talks about that story all the time. I haven't talked to him in a couple years, but anytime I do see him, he's always like, you still talk about that ketamine story? I'm like, I will never stop talking about that story. He's like, it was fun until that happened. Like, yeah, I bet it was a lot of fun until you thought you were going to fall through the earth. It's all right. He's fine. He recovered. He was fine. He was laughing with the medics and shit on the way back. I bet those medics have seen all kinds of shit. Being at a music festival and you got people overdosing and stuff, they've probably seen all kinds of stuff. Zupia, he found the K-hole. Yeah, and that's how I learned about what a K-hole is. My friend was going through it. I didn't know what it was. We all thought he was joking. That was the other thing. It reminds me of like when I got my identity stolen on April Fool's Day, and I was like all upset because it's a big deal. And then everybody thought I was joking because it was fucking April Fool's Day. That's what it was like to be him. He was screaming for his life, believing he was going to die, and we were snotting down our face laughing, falling on the ground laughing at him while he was screaming until his voice was bleeding. He's just, I don't know, boys, you know, that's how we are. Ha ha, you're dying. Ha ha ha. That's what it's like to be a guy. So it's like rough stuff. Paul, fentanyl and heroin will also cure PTSD. Screw that. Yeah. Is MDMA addictive, though? I haven't heard of psychedelics being addictive. I know fentanyl and that other stuff is. Yeah, I appreciate you, Astral Hammer. Told to care to veterans serving in Congress use them. It's a good question. I think that those people in Congress should be drug tested. And if they have like medical conditions, we should know about it. Because they're serving the country. You know, like when soldiers sign up for the military, their shit's not private. They belong to the government now. And like the government belongs to us. We pay for that shit. So when we have elected officials, I don't know why they have any right to privacy. Yeah, they're Americans, but they signed up to work for us. So just like an employer, we should have all their details. We should know everything about them. But we don't. What's up, Green Falcon? Happy freedom. Matthew, she's super pretty. Yes, that lady was very nice. She was very nice looking. Zupia, no amount of MDMA would bring me to accept illegals. Yeah, Zupia, I wouldn't either. But some people just don't care about shit. As long as they're high. I mean, think about how Democrats work. Killer J, I hate my PTSD. So I don't even have labels on my problems. I could have PTSD and ADHD and a little downs on the side. I wouldn't even know because I don't go get looked at. I just accept my problems. I don't give them names. It's like pets, you know, like animals. Like when you have cattle, you don't name them. That way when you slaughter them, you don't feel bad. That's how my problems are. I don't name them. That way when I do away with them, I won't miss them. That's the plan anyways. That's what I tell myself. What's up, Shanti? Happy freedom. What's up, Mitchell? You have to pay the FDA. See, that's true. Gotta pay to play. Hair Juicer, ever heard of the waiting room on DMT? No, I've heard certain things about DMT, but I haven't heard anything about the waiting room. Mr. Beans Beans, ready to rut. I don't know what that means, but that cowboy hat's almost like mine. Guess smoking and masturbation is more addicting than MDMA. But is it more fun while on MDMA? So anyways, we're moving forward here. This is Nassau County, and I'm just guessing on that. But New York has just, if I could get this pulled up, passed a law banning the use of face masks in public. And I really can't believe that it's in New York. Super crazy sauce. Anyways, starts off with a liberal getting dragged out with a mask on their face, and I love it. Let's go ahead and get this started, and don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Tensions boiled over tonight at the Nassau legislature when at least one person was arrested. The chaos came during a heated discussion about the county's Mask Transparency Act. The measure makes it illegal to wear a mask in public unless it's for the person's health, religion, or celebratory purposes. A similar state law had been on the books prior to the COVID pandemic.
This law endangers my life. This law endangers the lives of many people.
Bridget Jones is immunocompromised and came from Harlem to speak against the measure.
Criminalizing a tool that literally is PPE. It's a mobility aid. It saves lives.
The county legislature passed the bill along party lines. All 12 Republicans voted in favor. All 7 Democrats abstained. Supporters say it prevents people from committing crimes or acts of violence while hiding behind a mask.
This bill addresses the urgent need to mitigate potential threats to the community's safety and to ensure accountability.
So anyways, that was all of the video I could find. I wasn't able to find the entire clip, but that was enough. That was enough. Hopefully we'll have other states doing the same thing. It's kind of stupid that they even have to do that. That they got to pass laws to re-ban masks. Because they used to be banned. You used to not be able to walk into a store with a mask on. They would tell you to take it off. Just like, you know, the old good old-fashioned policy, no shirt, no shoes, no service. It was the same kind of thing. You could not walk into a store with a mask on. They would make you take it off. Not anymore, because everyone's soft and fucking stupid, and so when you see someone wearing a mask, you're like, oh, this person is too frail to have a conversation with. They might freak out and start protesting and throwing their naked body on the ground. Yes, ma'am, you know, kind of dumb shit. So people let it slide. So it's really interesting that that county in New York decided to ban masks, and I hope that catches trend, and I hope that more places decide to do that, because it's stupid. It's stupid. The people who are looting, breaking into stores, involved in criminal activity, they all wear fucking masks. All of them do. And then they want to turn around and be like, oh, well, we can't catch them because they were wearing a mask. What? Stupid. Stupid. I never wanted to live in a society wearing masks. Like, otherwise I'd have moved to fucking Afghanistan or some shit. Like, it's stupid. It's so stupid. So they need to do away with that stupid shit. I mean, it is nice to be able to identify a liberal from across the building, but usually their blue hair gives it away. I don't need them to wear a mask. I think it's nonsense. But with that being said, that is all the news for the day. We have our feel-good video coming up next. It's titled "Went to a Wedding and a Trump Rally Broke Out." Then we have our funny video of the day. It's titled "Trump Dog." All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat and see what you hooligans think about masks, even though I have a pretty good idea of what you guys are going to say. But before we get into that, I want to remind you guys, if you would like to support the live to keep us running, you're welcome to use the Linktree link you can find in the description, or maybe Snooks will post it in the chat for you guys. But using the Linktree link, you are welcome to make donations, and you can use PayPal, Cash App, Stripe, Locals, Buy Me a Coffee, or you can even send crypto. We're going to hop in the chat, and then we have our feel-good video coming up next. What's up, Calax? Happy freedom. Here, Juicer, I've only been in the waiting room once, and I've used a lot. What is it, Here, Juicer? What is the waiting room like? Breeze by you, yesterday it was 100 here, and a guy was walking down the street alone, sweating, looking like he was gonna die, with a sweaty mask attached to his face. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, Breeze by you, I don't know. I see people driving cars or walking their dogs wearing masks. I don't see it very often, but when I do see it, I'm just like, why? I think it's a security thing, like a security blanket, like a comforting thing. It's a self-comforting thing. Like, they feel like they have anxiety without wearing their masks. I used to say this all the time, and I ain't said it in a long time. A lot of times you see waitresses wearing masks, tell them you can't hear them, and try and get them to pull their mask down. 95% of the time, they got rotten teeth from pill addiction. That's why they're wearing a mask, because they went through the lockdowns, and their pill addiction got out of hand, and they rotted all the teeth out of their fucking head, and they know they look like a meth head when they look in the mirror, so they just wear a fucking mask. And now when they don't wear the mask, they're like, oh no, everyone found out that I look like a meth head. And that's what they're doing. Like that, a lot of people wearing masks, that's why. It's because the lockdowns let them get too far along with their sins, and they rotted their face away, and you can tell when they ain't got a mask on. So in order to assimilate with all of us, they got to wear a mask. Otherwise, you can spot those meth heads. It's gross. It is disgusting. Here, Juicer, the waiting room is a phenomenon where you suddenly stop blasting across the universe and wind up in a plain room like you're seeing the dentist. Interesting, Hair Juicer. I don't even know what to say to that. That is very interesting. Now I am inspired. I want to look stuff up related to that. The waiting room. Something else. Breeze by you endangers her life. What the fuck? These people are so brainwashed. I know that lady's sitting there super masked up. She's like, these save lives. Like who? Who have they saved? Where's the documentation on that? Show us the proof. Who do you know that has been saved by a mask? Nobody. But the news said. But the media said. But the White House said. Trust the science. 2 fingers deep. Like, it's stupid. So stupid. Matt, gotta hide the ugly. That's right. They should just wear a blanket. Calax, my apron is my safety blanket. It's alright. Self-comforting gets us through the day. It's better than having meth teeth and wearing a mask, though. Guess I wear a mask, condom, chastity belt, butt plug, and seatbelt when I drive. You're safe as fuck. Got some. Jeez. Safer than Chuck Norris driving. My goodness. Normal times, if they ban masks, how will I be able to ID Camilla voters out in public? Just announce they're having, abortions or something down the street. You see them running. You know who they're voting for. Pumpkin, I always tell them, you don't need to wear a mask. Yeah, and then they get all riled up. They act like that's a threat. They're like, hey, you don't have to wear a mask. You know that? And they're like, you're going to kill grandma, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, okay. If I was going to kill grandma, you couldn't do anything to stop it. How about that? You know, that's what I think when I see those people. I'm like, you're soft as fuck. You're worried about the things I might do to you, but if I actually did something to you, you couldn't even stop it. You couldn't even stop it from happening. You don't respect your own Second Amendment. You want the government to make all your decisions. If I decided to whoop your ass would just be whooped. That's all there is to it. So there ain't no point in being scared. That's why you got to make those punches in the face great again. Because you get punched in the face, you survive that shit, and you're like, you know what? I was being fucking stupid. I shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? Like, it lives with you. You got to make those punches in the face great again. That's how we're going to turn America around. I have full confidence. Craig Kiss. COVID particles are hundreds of times smaller than the mask holes. Yeah. And they try to say all kinds of stuff. That's how they dupe the normies. Is breaking down the science. They're like, well, yeah, the virus molecules, they might be able to pass through the mask. But the droplets, remember the droplets, that's the key word. The droplets can't pass through the mask. The virus is attached to the droplets. The droplets can't pass the barrier. The gay can, so you might still catch that. But don't you worry, the droplets, they're just attached to your face where you're now getting a yeast infection. Like, I don't know. Don't get me started. Don't get me started. Johnny Detroit, never heard that about servers? If you are in Detroit, I almost guarantee there's going to be some servers there that got masks. And ask them. Work it out. I mean, I've done it so many times. So many times. Maybe I'll do it and catch it on camera so you guys can just see what it's like. But, yep, it's the truth. Servers are pillheads. The majority of them are pillheads. That's how they get through the day. When you get to the restaurant, ask who's working doubles. And then see if they got a mask on. And then put 2 and 2 together. That's how it goes. They work long hours and long shifts because they make waitress pay. And they want to get those tips. How do they stay running? Adderall! And they rot all their fucking teeth out. It's the real deal. Somebody will blame me for the shit. I didn't tell them to do it, but they're doing it, and I'm just talking on it. Zupia, masks help you move now? There are mobility aids? Yeah, Zupia, I don't know what that lady was talking about. She was throwing so much shit on the wall just hoping that something would stick. That's all that was going on over there. What's up, A-Quest? Happy freedom. What's up, Mary Todd? Hung out on X for an hour. Got a notification there, too. Awesome, Mary Todd. I wonder if they're going to censor my live over there. They've done it twice now on X, where they change it from a video to just a link to a hidden video. Biking Cat, mass work in limited ways under practice conditions. Someone sick, hacking their head off. Yeah, mask is stopping big phlegm drops from germs from spreading. I mean, I guess, but to hold on to it as a safety blanket to say what if is not effective. If you're sick and you don't want to spread it, you should keep your ass at home, you know? But people treat these masks like safety blankets. And they're just like, well, I'm not sick, but I could get sick, so I got to wear a mask. I was like, well, I could die, but I got to leave the house. Well, I'll just stay at home. Like, I don't know. It's just fear. It's just fear. Biking Cat, like how Jeff said that breaking down the science, this is exactly what happens. It's like, yes, red steel is hot and ice is blue, and blue is usually a hotter flame. Lots of contradictions. Yeah, Biking Cat. Well, and that's how they get the normies. That's how they get the normies. They over provide information to the point where you're not even looking through it anymore. You're not even analyzing the information. You're just accepting it. And that's what they did in the beginning. They told everyone, you know, be scared, you're going to die and all this shit. People got scared and they started just believing everything that was coming out. And so they were just like, try wearing 3 of them. Just wear 3 of them. And you're seeing Americans like, I can't get past the second one. I got 2 strapped on already. Am I going to die or not? And the government's like, I'm glad you listen. I'm glad you do what you're told. And that's all it was. That's why they're a compliance cloth. It's big symbolism that you comply to what you're told, even if it doesn't make sense. Anyways, let's get on to the good stuff and away from the bad stuff. This is our feel-good video of the day. Let me get this pulled up here. Yes. So this is titled, Went to a Wedding and a Trump Rally Broke Out. goodness. Hell yeah, what a wedding to go to. So we're going to hop from that right into our funny video of the day. And this is titled Trump Dog.
You can take my ears, but you cannot take my liberty. They want to cut off my ears like the Taliban, but what they don't know is my ears can grow back.
The Trump Dog. He was a Trump Doge. All right, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. So I'm going to drop this Linktree link to all of you guys. We're going to read through the chat, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up next. Let's get this dropped really quick. You guys can't hear me. I'm muted. Thank you for letting me know over on the website. Damn it. Anyways, I dropped the Linktree link for you. Click all the links. If you would like to make donations and stuff, that would be fantastic. But go join Discord. Discord is free, so go do that. And then consider joining jeffmaclive.com. Get yourself a membership. You can watch the live. It's the best way to experience the live. We have lots of stuff over on the website because I'm constantly adding and making it the place that we deserve. So go and do the thing. That's all right. We got it. We got it. It's fine. I just shortened it. You guys got both. You got the long version and the short version. You didn't take the long version very well. Next time I'll spit on that thing, but that's all right. That's all right. A quest reading Jeff's lips or my eyebrows. Sometimes my eyebrows tell more truth than my lips do. There's things I can't say. My eyebrows, can't mute them though. Anyways, reading through really quick, and we got the Pledge of Allegiance coming up. Oh, I appreciate you, Breeze by You. Thank you, Get Some J. Thank you, Hair Juicer. Cassandra looks so cool. It looks like fun. It did look like fun. I don't know. I couldn't imagine being at a wedding and have a Trump rally break out. I get too drunk at weddings. Cadillacs is fucking awesome. I wish I knew them. I know. Like, hey, you guys doing another wedding soon? The Trump rally was awesome. President Trump is tagged in those videos because those videos are that last, or not the last video, but the video before last with the wedding. That video is all over Twitter right now, and every time I see it, there's so many people tagging President Trump. So hopefully President Trump sees that, because it's definitely an awesome video. J Spray, this is probably a great rant. I tried, J Spray. It was just advertisement though. It's all good. It's all good. Remote witness? Yeah, it'd be alright. It'd be alright. What's up, Donna Tracy? Happy freedom. Trump 2024. That's right. I think we are good now. Hair juice are just going off. Snooks, you have not been muted to me. It's okay. It's okay. I was muted. I can see it on the meters. But either way, it's fine. It was just advertisement. Ain't anything you guys ain't heard before. You know what I'm saying. You could read the lips. You know what was going on. Join the Discord. You know. Anyways, let me click the wrong button really quick. And it is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Did the thing, didn't mute myself. We're good to go. We are good to go. We're going to read through the chat one last time just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Let's see here. Breeze by you. If I was getting married or at a wedding, let's see, I'd turn it into a Trump rally too. It'd be a good time. It'd be a good time. It's been a long time since I've been to a wedding. Free Thinker Texan. Just installed my new scooter batteries. I missed half the live. Well, you got the replay. It'll be fine. Hope you have fun on your scooter and be safe. Those crazies, they're out there. For sure. You hooligans are just roasting Snooks. That's not nice. That is not nice. Well, thank you for letting me know, Snooks. Thank you so much, Jeffro, for that $1 donation. You're awesome, Jeffro. Thank you. Says, just figured I would give a going out doll here just because you're a MAGA badass. Thank you, Jeffro. You're awesome. Appreciate you. Heck yeah. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Pumpkin. Told to care the lips would be smooth because of the chapstick and the flipping stick. Flipping the stick. And that's right. That is right. Rappy. Oh, you missed it? Well, that's okay. I appreciate you being here, Rappy. The replay, so I'll just say this on the live because I keep getting questions about it. When we end the live, like I'm no longer on the screen, after like 10 minutes, the live officially ends on Rumble's side, and then it takes like 20 minutes to process. So sometimes you guys are watching the replay or you're watching the end of the live, and once the live ends, it buffers. It'll just sit there and buffer and you can't watch the video. I keep getting emails about this saying, hey, your video's fucked up on Rumble. I'm trying to watch it, but it's just buffering. That's because it's actually processing. If you experience that while watching the replay, just give it 5 minutes or so and then refresh the page and try it again because it's actually processing. It's just something, it's unavoidable. But because of how we do the live and how long it runs, it takes so long to process that you can actually witness it. So if you experience buffering while watching a replay of Coffee with Hooligans or anything like that, that's why. It's processing. I mean, every once in a while there is hiccups that just happen, but for the most part, if you're getting buffering while playing one of our videos, it's probably just processing. Give it 5 or 10 minutes and it should be good to go. Rumble should fucking hire me or some shit. I do a lot of advertisement and tech support for Rumble. They should throw me some doll hairs or some shit. Just saying. Just saying. What's up, Pag? Happy Freedom. What's up, Positive? You're so sweet. So sweet. What's up, DJ Me? Happy Freedom. Master Meatball, I don't go to weddings for the same reason I don't go to funerals. Why? You didn't say why, though. Is there a punchline to that? There's usually free beer in both. Well, if you know the right people. Anyways, it looks like we're good to go. Let me see. Oh, I see what you're saying, Free Thinker Texan. Snooks, was I supposed to lie? Nah, you're fine, Snooks. You're fine. They're just razzing you. All right, hooligans, like I said, we will be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.